Before this video begins, I just want to make a quick announcement, and that is that I will not be uploading a video next week as I am going on a vacation to my grandma's house over spring break. Both my grandparents are vaccinated, so no need to worry about that. But due to this, I will not be able to upload a video, so I apologize for that in advance. But I also want to take this time to thank you all for 40 subscribers. We are so close to 50, which is halfway to 100. So these little milestones help out a lot, and I believe we can get to 100 very soon. And if we can get to 50 subscribers before I get back from vacation, which is going to be about a week from now, that will be absolutely insane, and my mind will be blown. So if you're watching this video, if you enjoy, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot. And again, goal is 50. You can do this. This build, as you have read in the title, is an Arcstrider based build, and so it's obviously for Hunter, and it's really good for ad clear, and it's just really good for constantly refreshing abilities and just clearing out tons of enemies at a time, which in recent content that Bungie's been including a lot. Like in the Battlegrounds, you'll notice that there's rooms with like tons of enemies, and the Devil's Lair Strike has that one room with just constant enemies, and so this build really helps clear out those enemies, and it's just really powerful too. I would definitely not recommend this for boss damage at all, though, because there's much better options on even Hunter with Celestial Nighthawk. So the tree you're going to be going down on Arcstrider is going to be the middle tree, and I believe this is just the best all around, and this is also the best for refreshing abilities by using Ebb and Flow. By meleeing an enemy after using an ability on them, it will give you energy back for all your abilities. So this one just helps you constantly refresh your abilities, and honestly the other two trees aren't that good. The top tree is mainly for melee, which can be really useful for just constant abilities, so I might make a build on that in the future. And the bottom tree, I don't even know what this one's about. It's just, I don't even know. And for your exotic, you don't really have to run Raichu's Harness. I'm running this because it works best for middle tree, but you can run Raiden Flux, that's also really good. And you can even run the Skip Grenade one. I'm pretty sure that's Shinobu's Grip or something like that. You can run that exotic armor, or you could run Lucky Raspberry, which can help out a bit too for grenades if you want to just keep getting grenades back and stuff and have extra grenades. And finally, the weapons, they don't really matter either. I actually would recommend, though, running a weapon with Demolitionist on it, as this will be helpful later. Probably the best weapon with Demolitionist on it right now, though, is Salvador's Salvo, so definitely switch to that if you are using Ambitious Assassin right now, because this works really well with this build, and you can probably see it happening a lot in the background gameplay. I'm just constantly using my grenade. The only artifact mods you're really going to need, though, are Surge Detonators. You don't even need this, really, just champion stuff, and whatever weapons you use for champions normally. That's really all you need. Now, you can run Volatile Conduction if you want. This will grant bonus arc super damage if cast while critically wounded. However, I don't think that's really the best option, since you kind of have to critically wound yourself before using it, and that's pretty much of a big risk anyway. You don't really want to cast your super when you're about to die. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with the Elemental Wells mods. This is an Elemental Well based build, so if you do not have those mods, definitely go start picking those up, as they are pretty powerful. Now, any of these four Elemental Well mods can go on any type. Just make sure that you leave one Solar Affinity Armor available, as you will need that for Charge of Light mod. So the first one is going to be Elemental Ordnance. This just makes it so when you get a kill with your grenade, it spawns an Elemental Well of your type. Next, you're going to run Font of Wisdom, which boosts your intellect to 100 whenever you pick up a well. I will talk about that in a minute. The third one is going to be Elemental Light, which means when you defeat a combatant with your super, it spawns an Elemental Well that matches your subclass energy type. And finally, Elemental Charge. This will let you become charged with light by picking up an Elemental Well, and if the Elemental Well is your subclass type, it'll give you 2 stacks. So you'll pretty much always be getting 2 stacks from your own wells. And the Solar Affinity mod that you're going to want is Heal Thyself, or better if you have it, Firepower, because Heal Thyself is not that great. It's just helps out with this build because you're using grenades a lot, so there's no reason not to run it really. But if you have Firepower, definitely go get that, or definitely go use that, and if it is available from Banshee, definitely grab that too if you don't have it already. I'm still looking out for it, have not seen it once. So now the extra mods you're going to run, like I said, Surge Detonators on your class item type really helps out a lot. it's just good for overloads. Next, I just use Invigoration. This reduces your melee cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. That's on Arc. But these really don't matter, some of these. I'm just going to kind of skip over these. On your arm, on your gauntlets though, you're definitely going to run your normal champion mods. Whatever weapons you use, just use stuff that complement that. Now, if your solar armor mod is on your helmet, then you should run Ashes to Assets. If it's not, then you don't really have to if you don't want to, but if your helmet is solar affinity, then definitely run Ashes to Assets because this helps out a lot too. So those are all the mods, really. Now, I just also have been running stat increase for Discipline. I haven't really armor grinded, like, ever. Planning on doing it later in the season, so I really don't have like double 100 or triple 100 yet, so I'm just using a lot of stat armor mods. As I said earlier, Font of Wisdom makes it so that your intellect goes up to 100, so if you already have it at 100, there's no point in running this, and to which I would recommend you figure out maybe another mod to run. You can run like Supercharged to make sure that you always have like stacks of light on you, or you can run, I don't know, there's other things you can run with this that will help out a little bit more, especially since Firepower and Heals Thyself only consume 1 stack of Charged with Light, so you can have 2 things that consume Charged with Light, and the amount you're getting Elemental Wells in this build is so much that there'll be times where I'll just have 2 stacks of Charged with Light for a while. So you can, if you already have 100 intellect, I would definitely recommend running another Charged with Light mod. So the way this build like works mainly is you're basically just gonna be throwing a grenade and picking up wells to charge your super up, and then once you get your super, you are going to be generating more wells, and you're just going to be generating a lot of wells and recharging your abilities a lot and running around and using your abilities a lot. The Charge of Light mod, I really only put this in here though, mainly for just extra support, because you really only need these 3 mods right here, Elemental Ordnance, Elemental Wisdom, and Elemental Light, as those are the main ones giving you your Elemental Wells. But Elemental Charge and the Charge of Light mod help out a lot too, as they help, if you have Firepower, it'll help you recharge your grenade more, and if you have Heal Thyself, it'll just help you. It will keep you healed up more. And as you can see, this actually saved me once in this strike. This build will decimate hordes of enemies. It's just crazy because your abilities are pretty powerful, especially on Arc. You can literally just clear out rooms of enemies really easily, and that's really mainly where this build shines. I would definitely recommend running for a power weapon though, something that can do quite a bit of damage. Like I'm running Lament, and that's my main damage dealer in this build, because without that you're not really going to have much to deal damage. And like I said earlier, make sure you have a weapon with Demolitionist on it. Again, I'd recommend Salvager's Salvo because it's great for Ide Clear again, and it will get you your grenade back constantly. Yeah, that's really all with this build. If you did enjoy this video and want to see more like it, please consider subscribing. Again, I am working my way up to 100, and yeah, hopefully we can reach 50 by the end of spring break. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.